What's up, SNA Assassinators? This is Super Ninja Austin back here with another video. And this is the Friday Night SmackDown review on July 26, 2024 for you all today. And we're going to be talking about what exactly went down on the Blue brand on tonight's what happened on tonight's episode of the Blue brand on today's video. And not only that, I also want to say that tonight must be National pre-taped wrestling show day, because not only AEW Rampage was pre-taped like usual, like every week, like from AEW Dynamite from AEW a couple nights ago when they were in Nashville, Tennessee, but also the same went for WWE on Friday Night SmackDown. Like from last week when they were in, I believe was Lincoln, Nebraska, I believe. But yeah, and but before one of their commercial breaks, they acknowledged that WWE is actually live over in the specific Asian country of Japan. And they've been there ever since like a day or two ago. And yeah, and it seemed like they're having lots of fun there for those that made an appearance in Tokyo and Osaka and other cities that's in Japan. But yeah, they show, and even Asuka even showed up, but I'm gonna get to that in just a moment. And then yeah, SmackDown, it was pretty decent. Like it was mostly like how I expected it to be, but in a good way, of course. And also we had some segments between the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes and Solo Sikoa. Not like they weren't exactly there. Well, actually, Solo, they showed that he was there still, from the pre-tape, and it was like exactly how some showed on all over social media, doing a little spoiling, for those that want to know before 7 days in advance. But yeah, they recapped what happened last week with the Bloodline taking out Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens, and then and tonight they showed that we got Solo Sikoa and the rest of the Bloodline met up with Nick Aldis. This is where then we got we basically saw Solo Sikoa finally properly introduce the Bloodline to the SmackDown GM. This is where then they were and then this is where then Solo Sikoa let Nick Aldis, even if there wasn't any little bit of spoilers, we would kind of knew this because of due to what's the name, Tonga Loa selling the eye injury from Kevin Owens. But this is where then we got Solo Sikoa to make sure there's some clarifications, like if it's okay that it will be what's his name, Jacob Fatu be a substitute to Tonga Loa, because yeah, he's selling the injury, of course. But this is where then we got one thing. Nick Aldis was like, yeah, I like the sound of that, and I thank you for making this absolutely honest. And then yeah, even though we're not like that other company that there's no such thing as substitute teammates, that's taking a placehold for the original member of that said tag team. So yeah, he's like, I like the sound of that, and as long as we're doing this before the match happens, as well, even don't get me wrong, even if one of the members of the Bloodline, let's just say for an example, Tonga Loa got injured during the match, they still could have a understudy to play in this role. But yeah, they're the total opposite of the other company that's based from Jacksonville, Florida. But that's another story for another day. But it's where we got LA Knight coming out in the ring, because he has his match against Santos Escobar. And yeah, and let me tell you, we will indeed be seeing a number one contender for DIY as next title defense for the WWE Tag Team Champion. And I'm starting to be afraid they're going to have a short reign than anybody that held the tag belts in WWE history overall. But let's move on to the next slide. Let's talk about LA Knight's match against Santos Escobar, where he came out with Electra Lopez. This is where we start off with but I believe LA Knight kind of won the war. This is where once he tried to Irish whip what's his name? Santos Escobar. Santos Escobar go for a shoulder tackle. He went to the corner, into the bottom corner. This is where LA Knight did a duck, a leapfrog, hip toss, and then an arm drag, slamming him right in the middle of the canvas. Got him into like an arm stretching submission maneuver until they got back up. And then this is where we got LA Knight to start going for a wrist lock, start bending his arm right to the left side. This is where we got LA Knight to go for an elbow strike right to the face. LA Knight to say, like, whose game is this, ladies and gentlemen of Nebraska? This is where fans were saying, like, yeah. And then this is where then LA Knight to start shoulder bumping right onto Santos Escobar's midsection, right into the upper right side. This is where we got LA Knight to start hitting some right hands right into the head. And I understand why I said shoulder bumping right in the shoulder in the midsection. It's not like something that's inappropriate, but you get what I'm trying to say. But this is where we got Santos then counter out of the punches like halfway at 5, and this is where he tripped him right over, hits LA Knight face first, follow that up with a knee strike. And this is where he starts stomping onto him, start kind of mocking LA Knight. This is where Santos. And there's Electro Lopez didn't tell Santos, like, remind Knight whose game truly is, and that is Santos Escobar, which don't have the same ring to as LA Knight's phrase of saying his name, with everybody saying it. But this is where we got what's his name? Santos Escobar then sent LA Knight right into the upper left side, go for a big right hand. This is where then we got Santos Escobar then go for a suplex. And I was thinking to myself, like I'm so confused. Like, is this all kayfabe? The relationship of the Legado del Fantasma with Santos Escobar and Electro Lopez, or this is all real and they're just showing this, adding on the show? Like, this is all like in reality, not just kayfabe. But this is where then we got Santos Escobar got back up after hitting the suplex. He picks him right back up. This is where he goes for some kind of sharpshooter, like when he tripped over LA Knight. This is where he got sort of locked in, but it was like a kneeling version, like with him kneeling on kneeling down on his right knee, and then this is where he started bending his legs. But before he can even have it on for about at least a good 2 seconds, LA Knight was already on the ropes in the right side. Let go, and this is where he had no choice but to let go. This is where we got Santos Escobar trying to recollect Knight, but this is where Knight started fighting back, started kicking him in the gut, hitting the right hands. This is where then fans were chanting, yeah. This is where he threw him to the right side. He hits him with a big, devastating clothesline that knocked him over. This is where LA Knight's like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. This is where we got Santos Escobar somehow countered and going for what's that? Tossing his whole entire body right up to the right side and in the middle of the ring. This is where we got Santos Escobar then start distracting Jessica Carr, the female referee of SmackDown. This is where then he's like, all right, like, I'm not touching him and are doing the heelish maneuver. This is where we got Jessica's like, you better not. This is where she started pointing at him. But this is where what Jessica Carr did not see, what the rest of us fans seen was me and the rest of the fans, I'm afraid, that scene, and that was Electra slapping him right across his face with a big right hand. This is where we got, I'll say more like a tiny right hand. This is where then we got Santos Escobar and going for a 619 to follow that up with. This is where he started chuckling, laughing up like you gotta admit that was pretty impressive, wasn't it? And this is where not really much response from the fans because they do not give a damn, because it's not LA Knight that's having the upper hand. And then, yeah, this is where we got LA Knight start fighting back. This is where then he got thrown right into the bottom corner ropes. After coming back in the ring, he hits a swinging neck breaker on Santos. That's where then LA Knight and Irish whip turning the tides right into the left, going to the right. But this is where we got Santos Escobar then accounted through him instead. It's where LA Knight then went to the right side. This is where we got Santos Escobar to go for a rolling, flipping power backbreaker like maneuver. This is where Santos Escobar's like, yeah, this is too easy. And this is where Electro Lopez thought of the same thing. And this is where we got Santos Escobar going for a cocky pinfall cover. But this is where we got LA Knight and kicking out of on his left arm at 2.8, I believe. It's where Santos Escobar's like, you just don't quit. Like, you just cannot stop, can you? And this is where he's like, and then this is where he's like, listen to me while I'm talking to you. And then this is where LA Knight's like, am I already doing that? And then this is where we got him slapping him across his face. This is where then he's like, you're not better than me. You cannot beat me like one-on-one. Like, and I'm going to let you know that win was just a fluke and you did not beat me rather than Paul. And this is where then Santos Escobar then start arrogantly taunting the fans. This is where the fans were like, boo, you suck. Like you don't have no personality. This is where then Santos Escobar then's like, of course I do. Like you're looking at this is where they start trying to run right towards LA Knight. LA Knight hit him with a big elbow. That's where he threw him right to the lower left side. That's where he looked like he choke slammed, but he back slammed. And this is where he started stomping him right up to the midsection. Fans start chanting, yeah, 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 yeah. This is where we got LA Knight went to the upper right side. This is where he goes right back down in the bottom left. This is where he needs him right in the face. This is where then we got LA Knight then toss Santos Escobar right into the bottom to the left, but this is where Santos countered and halfway. This is where LA Knight turned right back and countered. DDTs him, take the ball back into his possession in the offense position. Hits the DDT right onto Santos Escobar in the process. This is where he tried to go for a cover, but Santos Escobar kicks out at the final second of 2.999999999 minus 0.1 away from being 3. This is where we got LA Knight then got back up. This is where we got LA Knight then okay, that move did not work. That go figure. But like, how about I go for a signature that reverse fireman's Olympic-like slam, neck breaker. But this is where we got Electra Lopez and try to come up and distract him. This is where we caught her halfway, like when she was right up on the apron. This is where she immediately went right back down when he noticed her and shoo her away. This is where he's like, it's already bad enough you slap me, but you're not going to fool me ever again some way, because once LA Knight was getting ready about to hit the blood force trauma, but he gets a spin, he gets backspin elbowed right into the face by the former NXT Cruiserweight Champion. This is where the leader of LDF then try to go to the left side. This is where he tried to run and try to go for a running attack move, but ginormous mistake from Santos because he did not know what maneuver to hit on him when he was running right towards Knight. This is where we got LA Knight then intercept and hit a jetpack power slam. This is where we got Electra Lopez and distracted. Like, you cannot allow this to happen. Like, this is where then she was being some kind of a distraction, because Santos Escobar must have planned this all out in order to beat the mega star, because here comes Logan Paul while his girlfriend was distracting the girl referee Jessica Carr. This is where he tried to go for a run lucky strike. This is where Knight then go for a duck. This is where he hits a clothesline right to the left side. He hits back first right into the left side of the ringside area. This is where we got LA Knight turned around, but he ends up getting kicked with a super kick. This is where Santos Escobar was trying to make it as convincing as he can. I'm not sure if he 100% successfully pulled it off, but yeah, I got to admit that he did a pretty amazing performance by making it look making it look too good to be true. Well, I'll say in a way for us rooting for LA Knight, but we all knew that despite him being in a Phoenix dropping position, like, he still got out of it. This is where then he flipped right out. He gets the guaranteed blood force trauma. He gets the 1, 2, 3, and yeah, he did some right because there was an obvious rhyme right there. He won like 1, 2, 3. He put things to rest and improved Santos Escobar that he can beat him 1, 2, 3 with a 1, 2, 3 in a singles match. But yeah, I understand why I keep counting, even though I didn't need to at this sentence right here in the end. But this is where we got Logan Paul then try to attack LA Knight by ambushing him from behind. But this is where LA Knight was already ready for him. This is where he rammed him right to the bottom right side. This is where he started stomping onto him. This is where he had him right where, until Santos Escobar stuck his nose where it don't belong. Well, I'm not sure if that's the case, but this is where. But he helped out Logan Paul. He gave a handshake out, which the fans start booing more louder. Like if Santos Escobar and Logan Paul or Dominic Mysterios of the Friday Night SmackDown roster. But this is where then he help Logan Paul lay out what's his name in a perfect position, LA Knight, like so he can hit a 5-star megastar frog splash, which is successfully working. I was like, man, like, shouldn't he be building this up into a what's that building this into into next week's SmackDown, like with him getting the upper hand. I guess it shouldn't be always what it seems. Like maybe this is for the best to make it more unpredictable as possible. With even though pretty much like 90% of the world that's a WWE fan knows that LA Knight's going to be winning regardless if they make it extra predictable or not. But yeah, I was looking like where's someone like Andrade to come in for the save, and we can build things up to next week into a tag team match for the heels to win, and they do a post match beatdown on the faces. But yeah, I guess it's best for it not to happen. Yeah, obviously being too predictable, and maybe they knew this and they needed to do it this week, and then we could see them getting into a brawl, but it can be more unpredictable with them getting split up from one another, I guess you could say, in the next segment with LA Knight trying to get his hands on the Logan. But this is where we got a replay video of Naomi like getting ambushed from behind by Blair Davenport. But yeah, before I get into more further, I want to give I'll say the LA Knight versus Santos Escobar, the second place spot of the best match of the night. Not because it's the opener, but rather than like it just deserves to be in a higher position. And if it wasn't for the gauntlet match, which that's like the match right before the main event, then I would have gave it the first place spot. But yeah, it is what it is, I suppose. But this is where we got a backstage interview with Naomi. This is where then she started telling Byron Saxton that she was like, she got something for little Miss Blair, and not only that, like she's gonna make her feel the glow, but she's gonna make sure that she's gonna make her respect it. And this is where we got Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair came in the room and with high pitched voice saying, "I know that's right." And then this is where even though they say that, This is where what's her name? Jay Cargill's like, Blair is the L word, like next to loser, and that is lame. And then she's gonna get what's coming for her. And this is where Bianca Belair's like, again, just like Bianca and Isla, which they're doing a little wink, wink, nudge, nudge kind of moment, like what's to come, like, and that is a potential